We are back at it with a brand new X1 F1 pod with the boy Dylan and Josh. And today we're going to do a little recap of the Spanish Grand Prix and then talk about our predictions for the Austrian Grand Prix. So let's start it off by saying, whoa, that doesn't make any sense. Let's start it off by saying, what a start by George Russell. That fourth place to freaking first, that was wild. And it didn't last long. It lasted like 2 laps. I don't even think 2 laps. Was it 2 laps?
I think he might have passed him on the second lap or something.
Yeah. But that was an awesome start by George. And yeah, I mean, Lando probably should have not like forced Max off like the road per se, right? I don't think if Lando did that, maybe he would have had a better start. I really don't know. He was just trying to protect the line.
I think either way, it's either Max or George getting a run there.
Yeah, but I think if, say for example, if Max doesn't get, like if Max passes Lando and Lando holds off George, I think Max versus Lando would have been like toe and toe the whole race, you know, compared to what happened, right? So, but yeah, that was a wild start. It was awesome to watch. And then there was a bunch of like Lewis fell back a little bit because he started third. He got back into fifth, made some couple passes on that first lap to stay right there with that pack. But yeah, overall, solid race. Very, very solid race. Nothing really too crazy happened. I don't think there was a DNF. I don't think there was any DNFs.
There's a couple incidents like with Lewis and Sainz and then both the Ferraris. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, even that incident with Lewis and Sainz, it was like a little tap.
Tapped each other.
Yeah, it was just a little tap. I'm looking at the results right now, and I'm kind of surprised that Aston Martin is 12th and 14th. I'm very surprised that Yuki is 19th. I don't even remember watching him on the broadcast. I don't know if you remember watching him on the broadcast because I don't remember seeing him at all. Kevin Magnussen, Bottas, 16, 17, Albon, 18th. Like, I don't even think we saw the race. Maybe saw it for a split second, but not too much
Just
of it.
Basically locked in on the top, like 6 and 7.
Yeah, because it was
That's
like the most important. Kind of surprising. Once again, I don't understand this. Sergio Perez, 8th place. Like, why is he not battling for top 5s? I don't know.
At least top 5s.
Yeah, at least top 5s, and he's 3 seconds. Wait, he's 15 seconds off.
59.
Yeah, but he's 15 seconds off of Piastri in 7th. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with Perez's car, because Max obviously can win in that Red Bull. We've seen it multiple times now. Pretty surprising. Pierre Gasly, Ocon, both Alpines points. That's pretty huge for them. Hulkenberg, once again, I feel like Hulkenberg's either gotten 10th or 11th like every race. I go back, I'm pretty sure it's like 10th or 11th. He's been driving great. But yeah, overall solid race, nothing too exciting. Shout out to Max for winning. Lando came close. We were rooting for him. But as they said in the press conference, like if he didn't get pushed back behind George and all that scuffle in like the beginning of the race, I think Lando would have been right there. Maybe battling with Max, a couple last laps, coming down to the wire. But Mercedes finally showed up for Lewis. They're not I thought I just dropped my water. They're not sabotaging any car for Lewis, so that's great. You know, he got 3rd place. George drove great off the start, drove amazing. 4th place. I don't know what's going on with Ferrari. 5th and 6th.
Ass.
It's not looking good.
Getting ready for Lewis next year.
Mercedes is gaining ground and Ferrari's going backwards, man. So not good. All right. But yeah, let's get into our prediction recap here. And my over-unders. So we have our groups, right? Over-under, DNF, best and worst strategy. So our over-under predictions for the Spanish Grand Prix for me was Red Bull and Mercedes. I think Mercedes kind of overachieved a little bit. 3rd, 4th, beat out the Ferraris, beat a Red Bull. Beat McLaren, you know. I would say they were the 3rd best car in the group behind Red Bull, McLaren, and Mercedes. And then my underachieve is Red Bull. Red Bull 2.0. Red Bull 2.0.
No. Red Bull is Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez.
Oh, rip. Because if I did Red Bull 2.0, 15 and 19th, I would have got that. But yeah, I'm just gonna run through mine. McLaren DNF didn't happen. Best and worst strategy. Best strategy Mercedes, I think so. Worst strategy Aston Martin, I think so. They did pretty bad. They didn't even score points. Biggest surprise Mercedes win. I was only 20 seconds off of that. Pole George Russell, technically he did because he led the first lap. I'm counting it. And then podium, I got 1 out of the 3 with Lando. But Lando was still third in my predictions, but he got second, so it doesn't really matter. I got Lewis winning, and that didn't happen. He was third. I guess I got 2 out of the 3 on the podium spot, but not the right order. But those were my predictions from Spanish Grand Prix. Mix, what was yours?
I had Ferrari underachieving. They honestly did. I had Lewis Hamilton overachieving.
Camera is frozen. There
really?
It goes. Yeah, it's fine now. All right, go again.
I had Ferrari underachieving, which they did, I would say. A 5th and 6th isn't where they should be.
They should be 3rd, 4th.
I had Lewis overachieving. First podium in a minute. I definitely got that.
Yeah, you got to give you that.
DNFs, none. I was correct. Worst strategy, Ferrari. They probably didn't have the worst strategy.
Nah, Aston Martin did. No, Red Bull 2.0 did.
Yeah, best strategy. I had Red Bull.
No. Perez
one
8th.
Of the best strategies.
Perez was 8th.
Max, though. One of the best strategies, but I wouldn't say the best. Then I had no safety car for my biggest surprise.
That was true.
No safety car or red flag race or qualifying. That was true.
That was true.
And then I had Max Verstappen pole. I was not correct, but I was still happy.
Yeah, I'm a big Lando fan over here.
And then my podium, I had Charles 3rd, which was incorrect. And then I had Lando 2nd, which was correct.
And you got Max first?
And I got Max first.
Oh, my God.
But I got half correct because I said Max Verstappen by 10 seconds.
You only won by 2. I mean, you wanted a boring race, and you kind of got it.
Yeah, I was right on a lot of stuff, so we get shit on.
Yeah. I lost this round. I definitely lost this one for sure. All right. I got to make it up for the Austrian Grand Prix, okay? I'll start with Mix with his over and under achieve for the Austrian Grand Prix. What do you got?
For underachieve, I have Aston Martin. Honestly, I shouldn't have picked that because they don't think they can get worse than what they just did.
That is true.
I'll stick with it. Maybe they DNF or something.
I mean, I could see
change my DNF.
I could see it happen either way.
For my overachieve, I have Lando Norris, and you'll find out more about that.
Okay. I'm gonna go pretty bold here. I'm gonna say overachieve Haas. I think Hulkenberg is going to drive into some points here. And
I think that's a bad pick.
No, I think it's gonna happen. All right, maybe a 9th or 10th, maybe an 8th. DNFs, you never know. So I'm gonna say Haas.
Maybe he'll DNF.
I would say Hulkenberg overachieve. I was gonna say Hulk, and then for my underachieve, I am going to say Red Bull. Just a Red Bull.
You have to say Red Bull or Red Bull 2.0.
I'm going to go with Red Bull. Perez is already underachieving. Maybe I'll just go Max underachieve, and he gets like a 4th here.
He could get 2nd, and that's underachieving.
I know, right? So I'm going to go Max underachieve. And that's my picks. For my DNFs, I say there's going to be 4 DNFs. I don't know who, but I predict 4 DNFs.
All right. Well, I'm not doing that, but I'm going with one of the Williams cars.
Okay.
I don't know which one. Probably end up being Logan Sargent, but hopefully not.
He's probably.
Also, I did hear a rumor. This is really off topic, kind of. But I heard Logan's going to IndyCar next year.
I just saw that on Twitter, and I was going to bring that up. I think that's pretty cool. And I also heard a rumor that was almost confirmed, basically, on the Red Bull's Twitter info, was Liam Lawson is guaranteed a Red Bull car. Don't know if that's 2.0 or it can't be
definitely
regular
2.0.
because it has to be 2.0 because Sergio Perez just signed a contract and Max is there. So Red Bull 2.0, Liam Sargent, that's who's going. Liam Lawson is going to drive for the Red Bull 2.0. I would say probably by next year. Maybe Daniel's spot, I would assume. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, so best and worst strategy. What do you got?
For my worst strategy, it's going along with my underachievers. It's going to be Aston Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to stink it up again. And then my overachieve, obviously, McLaren. Big shocker there. They're gonna like this track. They did last year when they brought upgrades. So I don't see why they can't be good.
I can see
Definitely a
that.
podium, at least.
All right. So for me, it's kind of hard to say like underachieve. You can't really pick the bad teams right now because they're always underachieving. Like if I say Kick is going to underachieve, they're already underachieving.
You can only go overachieve.
I know you can really only go overachieve with those. So I'm going to go along the lines with who I picked for my overachieve driver. And I'm going to say the best strategy is going to be Haas and Hulkenberg. And Hulkenberg's going to drive that car into some points position. And that's who I'm going for my best strategy. I'll say Hulkenberg / Haas. So when Magnussen runs it in, and when Magnussen runs it into someone, I still get points for that. And then my worst strategy, I think I'm going to have to go with McLaren. I think I'm going McLaren here.
You are dumb.
I know they brought upgrades last year, and this is like the start of like that turning for them to get way better. I understand that. They're probably going to bring a little bit more extra this weekend, but that doesn't mean that they're going to have the best strategy, all right? They could have the worst strategy by picking the worst possible time to pit stop, like what they did in the Canadian GP, because Lando should have won that.
You mean what they did last week?
Last week, Canadian GP with Lando, he should have won that race. He kept him out way too long on the inters. So I'm going to say worst strategy, McLaren. That's what I got. And then,
I mean, to be fair, last two races, we could have won that by picking McLaren worst strategy.
Because
Lando's kind of been getting fucked.
Was Miami, and then did it go to, where was the race after Miami?
Imola, then Monaco.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, yeah, you guys weren't winning Monaco. Let's be real. The first person, whoever gets pole at Monaco is winning.
Yeah.
Okay, so then my biggest surprise is Sergio Perez DNF.
I thought you were going to say win.
No. I think Sergio Perez is going to be one of those DNFs. This is also playing in the factor of my 4 DNFs could help Hulkenberg and that best strategy get into the points. That opens up a spot for him. I could also see, say, for example, Gasly, Ocon, maybe get a DNF as well. You know, one of those Alpine cars. Aston Martin, you don't know what's going to happen with Stroll and Alonso. So I'm going to say Perez DNF.
Mine's like kind of more of a bold prediction, but new gravel traps in turn 9 and 10 will take somebody out.
Okay, that's very specific.
It's really random. Well, they just added it this year because that's where they were getting a lot of track limits, like track times lead last year.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they added gravel right off the curb.
I remember
that.
I
think it's gonna get someone.
Yeah, because someone had a 5-second penalty, and wasn't it Sainz who had a 5-second penalty and lost like 4 spots because of it at the very end?
I have no clue.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Let me look at. Hang on, I got the results right here. It had to have been, or maybe lost like 2 spots because he finished 6, 1 second back. I don't know, but okay, that's very specific. I like. Who's your poll? Oh God.
My overachiever and my best strategy, Lando Norris, takes pole.
Lando ain't getting pulled.
Back to back.
I mean, he did get pulled last year. So, okay. I'm going to bold. I'm going very bold. Very bold.
Lewis Hamilton winning last week.
Lewis Hamilton pole position, baby. It ain't happening. We're so slow in the straights, but it's going to happen. All right, Lewis pole.
He could cook.
He could cook. All he needs is one lap. All right. And then my podium positions. I'm going to go. This is going to be super bold. Charles, third. Lewis, second.
Smart for once. Holy shit.
Lando, third.
Yeah.
That's my podium.
Wait, you just said he's going to do bad. They're going to have the worst strategy.
Hey, I got to get one of these right.
Right, true.
No, I mean, like, you got to think about how good Lando's been the last, 6 weeks. And
especially at this track.
Yeah, he's very good. They drove great last year. I mean, look at his car last week alone. They were catching Red Bulls consistently. And look at the week prior to that, the Canadian GP. They should have won that. The Miami GP, he won that. You know, they have the capabilities of winning the race. But it comes down to that best worst strategy. Like I said, Canadian GP, why are they out an extra couple laps? Put them out there right away. Get those tires. He wouldn't have lost that spot in my opinion. And then last week, if he just doesn't have a good start, if he had a better start, if he had a better strategy, trying to different tire change here and there, right, a better pit stop, it could have won. So, but yeah, I think Lando wins. Lewis second, Charles third, Max off the podium. That's a bold prediction right there. So,
bold. All right, my podium. Honestly, I had to double check this, but I have Lewis getting third.
Okay.
I was like, did I really type that? I mean, Lewis was cooking last week. He was the third fastest guy. He probably got held up by the Russell a little bit.
He did.
But I think he'll get third. Back-to-back podium.
I think that's a good
second.
Pick.
I'm not stupid. I'm gonna put Max second.
Pause.
What?
Well, keep going. I'll let you cook. Max second.
All right.
And you got Lando first.
I got Lando winning, of course. Fuck everyone on Twitter that made me not want to get on Twitter last week calling Lando a bad driver. Fuck all of you guys if you watch this.
They ain't watching this. You got to clip that.
No, they're definitely not.
You got to clip it and post it. We forgot to mention, this is a sprint weekend.
It is?
Yep. There's a sprint race on Saturday. So.
Sprint predictions right now. Max Verstappen pole, Lewis wins.
That's mine right there. We'll just both go with it right there.
You should agree with me. Fuck it.
Yep, fuck it. That's our predictions for the sprint. Max pole, Lewis wins. There we go. But yeah, sprint weekend. That's going to be great. That's going to be exciting. It's going to be a good race. Sprints are always fun, except sometimes they're not. And then the race could be even better because our predictions are going to come true. So let us know in the comment section below who you guys have winning, who you guys have pole, and give me a bold prediction. All right, give me a bold prediction. Let me know. But yeah, big shout out to the boy Dylan. And my predictions are coming true. Guaranteed. Guarantee it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the love. Leave a like, hit the sub, and we'll be back to recap and make our predictions for next week on the track that is Silverstone. So we're out. Peace.